Hello friends! Are you ready to put together the Adventure Awaits card? I really love this. I always struggle putting together more masculine type cards because I'm a big fan of flowers and my favorite color is pink. So, um, I really love this suite. So this card has a base, and then the actual card is on top of the base. And I just think it's a great card to give someone who's just graduated or moving on to a new job, or just something great for anyone in your life that you think would like something that looks a little more masculine. So this comes from the suite World of Good from the new catalog. When I saw this, I just fell in love with it. There is an embossing folder that does this old world paper background. The designer series paper itself is just beautiful. You'll see that I punched out these world images from one of the papers. We're using another paper for behind the word panel. So this paper here is from here, and then also using some of this paper that has beautiful gold inlay in it. So that's what the whole suite looks like in full. And then here's the stamp set itself. It's very beautiful and comes with, I used the dies, of course, because I can't do stamping for kits right now. So here's the die set here, beautiful world die, and you can do it as a bundle for $48.50. The dies themselves are $31, but you can see you've got two different worlds, the two different globe stands, a circle too if you'd like to put a color behind this die piece. Feather. This is an inlay script piece, so it's like embossing a little bit of script into your paper. And then also this piece, which I haven't played with that yet, but also your ink for your feather pen or whatever, forget what those things are called, and a little swirly piece. So that's the die set. This is the stamp set, some beautiful words. Life's a beautiful journey. You make the world a better place. Really pretty sets. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I can get that ordered for you. So again, here's the finished product we're going to complete. So in your kit, you will have a piece of cardstock, and this is, I need to pull out the colors because I haven't learned the new colors yet. This is something about cinnamon. So I will find that for you. These are the new in colors for 2020 through 2022. So whenever they bring out the new in colors, they last for 2 years. So this one is called Cinnamon Cider, and I used the cardstock because it matches with the designer series paper, and I also used some of the cinnamon cider ribbon that's new as well. So that's what we're working with. So you should have your base piece. I embossed your card front and used the old world paper so you can see it's very deep, beautiful embossing. And I originally made the card without any embossing, and for some reason it just looked a little plain having all that cream. And I was like, well, what am I gonna do? And so I decided I would emboss it. So there you have it. And your piece will be folded for you, but just make sure it's nice and even, because sometimes when we run these through the embossing folders, the paper gets it can kind of get a little bit warped. So that's your card piece. Then you've got a piece of the designer series paper. You should have a cream piece for your word, and again, you will need to stamp that at home. I believe I used, I think, early espresso for my ink, but again, black would be perfect for this card. You could also do a dark gray. Any of those colors will work. So just stamp an image on that. And then I punched these from the same punch. So this is a hand punch from Stampin' Up. Here's the two globes that I punched with just a circle punch right from that paper. So super easy, just go, you know, boom, 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 all the way along the paper. So that was very simple. And then you have your stand for your globe and your globe piece. And we're ready to put it all together. And hopefully you're gonna do this with me. So let's go ahead and get adhesive on the back of this card panel. And then we'll mount that onto our back panel. Just try and, as best you can, get the edges all the way around as even as you can. It's okay if they're not perfect. It's a handmade card. Add some adhesive to the back of your designer series paper. Make sure as best you can you've got your text right side up, and then try to get your three edges here equal. And just place that down. Okay, everybody with me now? We can go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of these two globes, and you can use a glue dot. I just always reach for my big ATG gun. Try to keep your globe right side up. Hopefully I've kept mine. I used this same card for a swap I did. I had to make 6 of them. And I hope I kept all my pieces right side up. Okay, so there's that. Now we can go ahead and put our globe on. And what I did for this one was I put a couple glue dots on the back in the big spaces, where I've got room for a glue dot and it won't show through. I went ahead and did that. And then on a piece of scrap paper, I always like to use scrap paper because then I don't worry about, I'm not trying to be super perfect about I can just kind of almost scribble it and not worry about it because it's just going to go onto the scrap paper. It just makes it a lot faster for me, so I'm not real picky about getting on those lines. And again, I'm using a glue pen, two-way glue pen. I find those really handy for these really tiny pieces. And then just go ahead and place that down and hold it in place. Give that glue a chance to grab onto the paper. Those glue dots will really help. And then you're going to do the same thing for your stand. I'm going to put a glue dot right here on this big piece, and then I'm going to use the glue pen for the rest. So I've got a glue dot there. I probably could have put a second one there, but that's okay. That's enough. Go ahead and get adhesive, some liquid glue on here. There we go. Cover up my glue pen. I'm done with that now, I believe. And then go ahead and place this on. Try and keep your stand as straight as you can up and down on your card, and then hold it in place. Give that glue a chance to grab on. Okay, there you go. Now we're ready to put our word piece together. So if you haven't stamped this yet, you'll want to stamp this before we go and put this together, because otherwise it'll be a little bit, you'll have a little bit of ledges and it might mess up your stamping. So make sure you stamp this image first. And then what we're going to do is, this is a fun way, if you ever have stamps where, you know, it's only got the one size, often with dies, there's various sizes of the same shape, but with a punch you only have one. So there's a couple tricks you can do to get a mounted piece behind it to add, you know, some more dimension and color. So you can just punch this, cut it in half this way, spread it open so that the top part shows here, and imagine this is half of this, okay? And then the bottom piece shows down here, okay? So you'll end up, you won't have anything showing on the sides because it's the same size piece, but you can cut it through the middle and then have it show at the top and bottom. That's a really cool look. You could also do it the other way, where you cut it through the middle here. So just imagine that where this tip is, it ends there, and then you could do the same thing over here. So that's very similar to what we're doing, but I decided to just go ahead and punch 2, and then we're going to spread it out a little bit more to get that look. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just put adhesive on the back. Now this is only if you have yours already stamped, so you don't want to put this together yet if you haven't stamped your sentiment on the front. And I'm going to try and give myself like 1.5 or so, close to 2 of these grids wide at each edge. And then just try and keep this and this border equal. Okay, to put that down. Okay, add a little bit more adhesive back here to grab the other piece. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Give it a little more than 1.5, close to 2 wide, and keep my top and bottom borders as equal as I can. Again, it's not meant to be perfect. And there you have this piece. I really like that. I think that's a really nice add to this card. So now I'm going to go ahead and put some mounting tape. This one I'm going to mount so it's not going down flat. I'm going to put this foam mounting tape on here. Remove the backing. I took today off work. It's been a fabulous day. I don't know, I think this working from home is, I mean, I enjoy it, but it's starting to get to me a little bit, and 40 hours a week is becoming harder to do. And then I'm going to I want to leave just a little bit of the cream showing here, and I want it going over top of the I guess, stem of the globe stand, just like that. And it's got nice dimension. I love all the bits of gold through the paper. And the last thing, I just tied this in just a single knot. Just try and get it the way you like it. You might need to trim your ends. And then I'm going to put that on also with a glue dot. I'm just going to, you can either put your glue dot right there, but with this roll, I ran out of I have to find another package of the little glue dots that are on the little sheets, because I completely ran out of them putting these together, the swap, when I had to make 6 of these. So I need to find another package in my stash, because these rolls, I don't really like using them quite as much. There you go. There you have it, and it's all done. And what a nice card, and I love that, you know, you have that texture on the inside, but the smooth part to write your message. And it's just it's a little bit different than just the standard card where you wouldn't have this larger base. So I made this card a little smaller, so the base is still the normal A2 card size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So then I made my card 4 by 10 1/2, which when folded in half would give me 5 1/4. So it ends up being 4 by 5 1/4 on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 base. And there you go. Love that card. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.